Oh, say does that start
on paper. For this game looks one-sided, GA, but you never know in the NBA, do you? As they say, anything can happen.
Yeah, that means just so much talent in the league. If one or two guys get hot, this could end up being an upset. The difference between good teams and bad is razor thin.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, we've got Lee, and it's Reeves in at the four-man position. Shot clock at 5. Out to the wing. Off target from three-point range. Pass to Strother. Reeves outside. Oh, Reeves in position. A shot, no good. Jacob.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K. Most of the season behind us, Grant. Talk about the mindset for teams right now.
Well, if people tell you the standings don't affect the mindset, BA, they're lying. Everyone is asking themselves how they can improve or maintain position. You just don't want to backslide now.
The starters for Utah. Pass to Jacobson.
Come get it, come get it.
Inside. And he makes no...
And one move ahead of the defense. A solid pick.
And then the monster dunk to complete the play. Well done.
Well, great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Here's Lee. Into the lane. Hey, hangs in midair and converts the double clutch layup.
And I have no clue how he got that one to fall, pulling some magic in the midair and torturing the defense in the process.
Pass to Jacobson. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And the powerful one-handed slam.
Woo! His energy is unmatched.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
You know, people call DeMar DeRozan the modern master of the mid-range.
Well, he's earned that with his mid-range efficiency and scoring. It's an area a lot of offenses overlook now, but DeMar, oh, he is the exception to the rule.
To the middle. Pass to Buckner. Here in the first quarter, with about 2 minutes gone by. To the inside, it's Dent. Jacobson. And it's Lee with the rebound. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thanks. I caught up with the home team's head coach. I asked him about DeMar DeRozan, specifically how you defend him from the mid-range. He said, quote, "It's tough because his footwork is so good. Our goal is to try to push him out farther and make him take threes if possible. And we'll live with those results. We'll see if their defense is up for the task at hand." Back to you.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
B.A., the one-hand dunk just looks so fluid.
Yeah, and absolutely. Even smooth when he's powering it home like that. Down low. And there's a 3-second violation. And a look at the stats for him.
Over his last 10 games, his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better. He looks very confident from deep. There's no doubt he's got the green light to shoot from his coaching staff.
Here's Jacobson. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
This is why you put the ball in his hands. An accurate pass hitting a moving target.
Pass to Lee. Inside. Oh, deflected. Here's Jacobson. Oh, my goodness.
Did you see that?
Bring it out the hammer.
Now that's how you finish.
Oh, and he slams it down. Wow.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Looking at the 2K leaderboard, these teams have been outstanding at creating offense through their defense. Utah, number 1.
And when you turn it over against these guys, they make you pay for it. They lead the league in points off turnovers.
Reeves, the pass to Lee. Back to Reeves. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
That is a perfect placement of that dime. Just guided it right to him.
Here's Jacobson. And right now, he's currently putting up 6.5 points per game. Pass to Buckner. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
And sends it home with some passion.
I think he's rubbing it in a little bit here, hanging up there like that.
Woo! B.A., that's lit.
Ferocious all the way. Man, that was good. Right wing. Throws it up high.
And the lead increases on a crazy offensive sequence.
Man, the dunk alone would have been incredible, let alone the fact that it came off a pinpoint pass. Here's Strawther. Yet to see a basket. To the paint. Here's Reeves. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
A quality pass, setting up a quality shot. It's just textbook basketball.
Pass to Buckner. Here's Riley. Here's Jacobson. Baseline try. Utah grabs the miss.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
Pass to Lee. Here's Strawther. And right now, he's currently putting up 6.5 points per game. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
And you like the balance here. Not just falling in love with the free ball.
The home team calls timeout. Gone 6 of 9 and finding their rhythm now. Rackley passes to Jacobson. Pass break Utah. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
Pass to Rackley. A minute and a half left to play in the first. Puts the move on. He takes it in. Tipped. Releases. Again, Utah good for 2. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Utah.
When you pile up the blocks earlier in games, it really can affect the other team. They lose confidence offensively.
You know, they've also been very effective at running the floor. Just a ton of points in the fast break. It's been a big part of their success.
No good, and they can't put it into the drought.
The defense just giving him the easy look there. He's not going to miss that.
Pass to Kidd. Utah moving the ball around. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. And there's the rejection. And that goes out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. .30 seconds left in the first quarter here. Down low. .17 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. The baseline J. And it comes off the front of the rim. Beyond the arc. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. So at the end of one quarter. And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. Yeah, what stands out to you from Utah in this one?
Well, their offense is clicking so far, capturing the momentum here early on.
Credit the game plan coming in. They've identified some weaknesses, and they are exploiting them.
And it's Buckner in at the 3, the small forward. The rebound by Riley. And for Utah, here's Jacobson. Inside. Poke loose. No good with a layup.
And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the play and doing just enough to bother him at the rim. That's a blue-collar bucket right there. Grown man basket. Put in the work. Got a second chance to score.
Just over a minute has passed here in the second quarter.
And give the defense credit. He was met at the rim.
To the left side wing. Pass to Lee. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. Richard, throughout his NBA career, Malik Monk has been known for his instant offense off the bench.
Yeah, but he's now shown he can also play in that lead role and distribute. Could drive in either role. Well, when you send him to the line, you know what the outcome is likely to be.
On the take, Utah grabs a miss.
You have to respect their ability to stay consistent away from home, keeping their cool and making quality shots.
They took the air out of the crowd again and again with big shots. They never let the fans become a factor.
And the lead increases on a crazy offensive sequence.
Man, the dunk alone would have been incredible, let alone the fact that it came off a pinpoint pass. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Kevin Durant talked about the key to his longevity, and he said just being enthusiastic about the game every day and wanting to get better, that forces you to get in the gym. What you do the most is what you're going to be best at, and if you don't use it, you'll lose it. That's how I look at it. Back over to you, Brian.
The love for the game. Allie, appreciate the report. Already it's February. Let's see how things look out west. You take a look at Utah. They're currently in 4th place, a solid spot to be in late in the year. Not posing much of a threat right now. Here's Jacobson. All right, for those just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second. Graham misses. Utah leading by 9. To the inside. Outside Reeves. Five to shoot. Shot on the wing.
No clue how he misfired on that shot. You don't see that from him very often.
Here's Buckner. Looking at his numbers, putting up 8 points a game. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Pass to Graham. To stop the drought, and he hits the jumper.
Got his man all tangled up. I mean, serious crossover.
Here's Lee. Taking a look at his production, averaging just over 8 points a game. Pass to Reeves. Utah moving the ball around. Well, most NBA teams run their offense through their star player. But, Grant, that can leave a team vulnerable when that player has an off night.
You know, in a strange way, it's almost better if your star is out of the game. I know that sounds weird, but those complementary players get increased opportunities and are emboldened to do more.
Strawther's checked in for Utah. Pass to Buckner. Here's Riley. Here's Buckner. He chipped in with 13 points in his last game. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Reeves. The home team calls timeout. All right, let's take a break and take a look at which teams have been lethal from outside the arc during the last month of play. Fifth best, Utah.
It's one thing to take a lot of threes. It's another to take good ones, and they do. And they have some great shooters.
Here's Jacobson. Clock at 4. Pass to Jacobson. Sinks the tray. Jacobson's got 10.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
Utah leading by 4. Outside Reeves to the right side. And he lobs it up. Ooh, they pick off the pass. Here's Buckner. For Utah, they've gotten 2 of 5 shots to fall this second quarter. Lee on the wing. Here's Strawther. To the middle. Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. To the paint. Here's Jacobson. Blocked! And the ball ends up out of bounds. And they retain possession. Utah making a switch here. Pass to Rackley. We've got 1:55 left in the first half. Clock at 6. And stolen by Reeves. Fast break Utah. And some very quick points for him on that possession. And Utah leads by 6.
Rate of baskets assisted, it's a stat I really like. It tells the story of how well you are playing team offense.
They set the pick. Pass to Jacobson. Here's Rackley. He's scoreless. Out to the wing. Three-pointer. And Reeves pulls it down.
and he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
And it's good. 2 points. And now it's an 8-point Utah lead. Shooting just 38%. Their offense not where they want to be. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. Here's Rackley. Shoots from the elbow. Can't hit that one. Here's Reeves. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
You can really feel the momentum swinging in their direction.
Yeah, but they can't relax. They got to keep building on this lead because it is not safe.
And so it's Utah closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. What has them in front right now, by and large, they're taking great shots. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello, folks. Is this the halftime show? Yes, it is. And kicking it off, let's quickly look at the Western Conference standings.
You know, right now for Utah, they've been hanging around the upper echelon, playing with good energy. Feels like the chemistry is right with this team.
And turning our attention to the first half, a positive start for Utah.
Their efficiency on offense has been off the charts. Credit them for coming.
And that's a wrap on.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Utah leading by 7. And it's Jacobson in at the power forward position. Takes it inside.
A savage reverse jam. That takes great body control.
No question. He was making a statement right there, man. Strother's gone a perfect 3 for 3 so far. And for Utah, releases. Plenty of room that knocked down that one.
Oh, I love that possession for them, ending with an assisted bucket.
Utah shooting 74%. Just an unbelievable offensive display here. Grant, is it fair to call Kevin Durant one of the most unique players we've ever seen?
Without a doubt, B.A., most definitely. The blend of size and perimeter skill, unprecedented. KD able to rise up and score over most any defender.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Taken away. Fast break, Utah. Here's Lee, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And this kind of six slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, B.A.
You know, there's an edge the way they played and a confidence they're not afraid to show. Pass to Jacobson. They set a pick. Third quarter of play with just over 1.5 minutes gone by. Here's Jacobson. He's covered by Reeves. 4 on the clock. Fires at the elbow. Jacobson, no good. And Reeves has got the ball here for Utah. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. All right, here now, the league's top rebounders over the past month. Utah shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And the first one at the line is good. And that's good as he hits both shots. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. And if they're going to make a move, this is a good time to start.
And there's still plenty of time, but they definitely don't want to let this game get too far out of hand.
Here's Buckner. Pass to Jacobson. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
And despite the NBA's popularity, some folks criticizing the wide-open style of play.
Yeah, you know, B.A., some of the artistry is lost when guys are mostly hunting for open threes. But for some teams like the Celtics and Warriors, that's been a championship-winning formula. And, well, we all know it's a copycat league.
And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. Well, I'm wondering, RJ, do you think we'll see a Zach LaVine highlight dunk tonight?
Yeah, B.A., most nights we normally do. Something else also, I've come to expect shooting sprees from Zach. This man can rattle off 3 and 4 and a quarter like it's nothing.
Here's Buckner. Inside. Here's Graham. And finished off by Graham.
Strong finish to cut into that lead a little.
And left no doubt with that one, Grant. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Pass to Kidd. Over Graham. Nails the 16-footer. And Utah leads by 13.
They're on fire right now, shooting 80% to start the second half.
Pass to Jacobson. Down low. Here's Riley. Utah grabs the miss.
Nice reaction defensively, determined to make that a difficult shot.
Kidd. Oh, a nice one-handed slam right there.
Oh, nice one-handed jam there, B.A.
Hey, little exclamation point. Pass to Buckner. To the inside. And he makes it on the layup. Jacobson's got 8.
Terrific design and execution, leading to an opportunity right at the rim.
Utah moving the ball around. Pass to Graham. Here's Buckner. Here's Jacobson. And a miss there on the triple. To the middle. Here's Kidd. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Since half, there's been a stark contrast between these teams. I'm talking about efficiency at the offensive end.
And start with their defense. They've been intense on that end, and they can actually help their offense as well.
The home team calls timeout. So both teams making some changes here. Utah grabs the miss. Here's Strother. He's got 6. Pass to Kidd.
2 minutes.
Tries a 10-footer. Again, Utah good for 2.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
A minute 35 left to play in the third quarter of basketball. Over to the left wing. Here's Rackley. Just 5 on the clock. Strother grabs a miss. Here's Kidd. Again, Utah good for 2.
Balanced play has given them the lead and also quieted this crowd.
They've played fantastic ball, and you can feel the hush that's come over this crowd.
Oh, got a piece of it. Jacobson got a hand on it. They retain possession. Second chance effort. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. And he knocks down the first one. Reeves is checked in for Utah. Lee comes in for Strother. Both shots good from the stripe. Utah leading by 17. Pass to Lee. Out left to the wing. Here's Kidd. 29 seconds left to play in the third quarter here. Outside Graham. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
Everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
This is his first trip to the free throw line tonight. He does not get the second one.
They've been playing with much greater physicality this half. Getting themselves to the free throw line is a bust.
Right side Reeves. Hits a three-pointer. He's got 11.
They've been very well-rounded and extremely focused.
Yeah, not just an impressive showing on offense, but on defense as well, executing their game plan perfectly.
And so it's Utah up 19. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And from the two-guard spot, an unselfish play like this sets a fantastic tone.
And from a team perspective, having your off-guard rip off passes like that, it's awesome. It shows you have guys willing to give up the rock.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. And rejected. And that goes out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
Home team, number 2, Quincy Buckner.
And the ball ends up out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
Unforced turnovers. They'll drive your coach insane.
Here's Jacobson. And he's going for the oop here. So the Utah 5 right now. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. That's a flagrant 1 foul.
He might be lucky just to get a flagrant 1 there. Lots of contact on that play, and the officials could have gone with a more severe call.
Well, he better be on his best behavior from this point forward. 1 more flagrant of any kind, and he's out of this game. And he drops the first. Richard, the league taking some steps to prevent flopping. What's the criteria for what crosses the line?
It's called STEM. It's an acronym for secondary, theatrical, exaggerated movements. Yes, that's a real term. It's kind of a limited definition, and it basically says, don't be an idiot.
Here's Lee. Reeves, the pass to Lee. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
First personal foul.
And they've been so much more aggressive drawing the whistle here in the second half.
The away team, Jarrell, taking 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. And the second free throw is good. Shooting right at 35%. Not getting what they want out there. About 1 minute played here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Riley. Here's Buckner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the shot goes in. Utah leading by 20. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. To the paint. Here's Reeves. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
When guys are moving the ball, sharing it, it makes the game so much more fun, both as a player and as a fan.
Pass to Buckner. Richard, when you look at career longevity for NBA players, has LeBron shifted what we thought was possible?
No doubt. It's made fans more critical of guys that are on the decline. But ultimately, guys start to decline around 32, 33 years old. That is normal.
Jacobson, no good.
They've shown the power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
With the drive, it's rebounded by Buckner. Gotten just one shot to fall out of 3 attempts in the fourth. Jacobson, no good.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Here's the pick. Here's Lee. Good work there as it goes.
You're not going to get stops against him unless you give an effort.
Just about 3 minutes through the fourth and final quarter here. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
And he gets that one. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Utah.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
And their block numbers also stand out to me. Challenging shots at the rim has been a big part of their defensive success.
Riley, good.
Another shot right in the lane. That's been their MO this evening.
For Utah, they've gone 3 of 4 in the fourth and looking confident on offense. Well, you want officials to get the calls right, but for video review, maybe institute a 2-minute time limit, you think?
Oh, I would love a good 2-minute time limit, but the worst thing to do would be to go to a 2-minute time limit and then have them not get it right. Then you wasted all that time for nothing.
They have no answer defensively inside.
To the wing, right side. Here's Jacobson. The shot won't fall. Inside. Utah moving the ball around. The offensive rebound. Right side, Reeves. Fires for 3. Over to the left wing. They shoot again. Jacobson with a rebound. Gotten only 2 of 6 attempts to drop in the fourth. Buckner passes to Jacobson. Here's Jacobson. Utah grabs the miss. Reeves has got his 5th rebound in this one. Lee on the wing. Lets it fly. Misses off the right iron. Pass to Riley. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. And, of course, you won a ring with the Cavs in 2016, Richard. Talk about the challenge of winning a title.
In a lot of ways, it just comes down to will and grit. The playoffs are an extra 2 months of intense basketball. The team that wins it all normally has the most help and motivation.
Pass to Lee. Lots of room. And that one's good.
Just continuing to pile it on, refusing to let up.
If he has space in the mid-range, he'll let it fly. Doesn't matter if the score is tied or they are up big.
Here's Rackley. Tipped. Here's Strother. There's the drive.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
We know mistakes lead to breaks. That's just textbook right there.
Pass to Rackley. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Misses the three. For Utah, they've gone 6 for 11 here in the fourth quarter. Here's Lee. Again, Utah good for 2.
And it only makes sense to give him the rock again. He put the team on his back all game.
Yeah, just keep feeding him. That guy is a man on a mission. And the defense, well, they don't have much of an answer.
1:11 left to play in the fourth quarter. With the tip. Great positioning on the putback. Riley's got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's so strong when he goes to work on the glass. One opening is all he'll need to finish the play, even if it's just a tip-in.
There's the drive. Blocked! Outside Graham. Goes up at the stripe. The shot that time not on target.
Great defensive effort to lock down the paint.
Yeah, he's got great position, and it makes it a really tough shot, even from such close range.
Lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
All road wins. They're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. You know why? Because they are so hard to come by.
Here's Rackley. Off target from outside. Here's Strother. So we see Utah get the win here. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement indeed, BA. It wasn't enemy territory, but they controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it.